For many patients who come to us, their smile is the most important issue. They want a beautiful smile and an attractive face. Does our self-esteem really depend on our teeth? It's hard to believe, but yes, it is true. There are many scientific studies available about this topic. A beautiful smile and an attractive face, that is the topic of this chapter. Believe it or not, it has even been scientifically proven that pretty babies are cuddled more intensively by their mothers than, well, not so pretty ones. For many patients who come to us, their smile is the most important issue. They want a beautiful smile and an attractive face. And does our self-esteem really depend on our teeth? Yes, it's hard to believe it is true. There are many scientific studies available about this topic. So this chapter is about the aesthetics of the face and more specifically the position of the teeth. For many patients who come to us, their smile is the most important issue. They want a beautiful smile and an attractive face. And there are people who avoid to smile just because they do not want to show their teeth. Are teeth really so important? Does our self-esteem really depend on our teeth? Yes, that's really true. I've had this experience very often. It doesn't always have to be a big black triangle between the teeth and not a crossbite. No, even a small gap of less than 1/4 of a millimeter, an angular deviation of the tooth axis of a few degrees, a slight asymmetry for some people, that can make a difference between hell on earth and eternal happiness. It is hard to believe, but it is true. There are many scientific studies devoted to this topic. It starts with the fact that mothers treat babies who are cuter and more attractive with cuddles much longer than babies who, well, don't look that pretty. Those will then only be taken care of, but not as much cuddled intensively. And Queen Victoria, who bore 9 children, once said, "An ugly baby is a very nasty object, and you are convinced every mother thinks her own baby is pretty?" Well, psychologists know how to measure things like this. In that study alone, the duration and the care was longer with the pretty babies than those who did not look so attractive. But of course, they did not ask the mothers of the babies in question whether they think their child is pretty. No, they had other people to test, to choose which babies look prettier and which one does not so much. And really, a proper scientific study. Almost 200 mothers and their children. Objective, calibrated observers. Duration of the study was 6 months. Time measurements, behavioral descriptions and statistics, whatever is needed. Well, there is something to it that we find beautiful, likable in a face. And the mouth is the largest structure in the face, and in the mouth the teeth are very prominent, and thus we have arrived at our topic, the smile. We know not only from our own experience that people with an ideal smile are considered more intelligent and therefore have better chances of being preferred when looking for a job. There's also scientific studies on this topic. In this study, photos of applicants were processed with the software Photoshop. In some cases, they added beautifully aligned teeth with a beautiful smile to a photo. In other cases, they created faces smiling with malaligned teeth. And then they asked people, test persons, to decide. Objectively speaking, that is pretty brutal, isn't it? What can a person do if their teeth are crooked? That has nothing to do with the person's own intelligence, not even his or her willingness to perform with diligence. Only a few people who are able to really want to do so or give those people a chance and let them convince them with their real skills. But it is often the first impression that counts, and the problem is not the crooked teeth. The problem can be found with those people who misjudge the bearers of malaligned teeth. But Everyone has the right to strive for happiness, the right to lead a successful life. Each of us has only one life, and there are many terrible diseases. Against some of them we are helpless in medicine. But if the position of the teeth really plays such an important role, well, that can be fixed. And again, scientific studies show which role the position of the teeth do play for the subjective quality of life of a person, how the improved self-perception leads to a person being lively, self-confident, creative, recognized in the group, successful and beneficial to the community. And others develop unfavorable character traits due to their malaligned teeth, which are perceived as not so desirable. Because they feel ugly and disadvantaged, they do not smile. They appear disagreeable, tend to withdraw, attract less attention, are less noticed, are less able to participate, and do not contribute to shared experiences. It's a vicious circle and the opposite of a successful life. So many missed opportunities, and you do not wish that to anyone. And yet it is real, just because of the teeth. So, as important as orthodontic treatment is for purely medical reasons in many cases, we can of course also do something for a more beautiful smile. Physiologically correct teeth, that is, lined up along the dental arch in such a way that their roots are evenly distributed in their bone, aligned in such a way that they stand in harmonious biomechanical functional relationship with their opposing teeth. That is what people today find beautiful. And when there is a smile that people find more attractive, then they also find the bearer of that smile more intelligent. Although we cannot improve the intelligence of a person by straightening their teeth, but we can improve the tooth position according to medical criteria. And you do neither starve nor do you die with crooked or with malaligned teeth. You can still chew sufficiently enough despite any malaligned teeth. And you will not even starve without any teeth, taking into account our contemporary diet. Although it is said that your health begins in your mouth, and it is well known that insufficient chewing, perhaps due to physiologically incorrectly positioned teeth, can also cause intestinal and digestive problems. So what we do in orthodontics goes far beyond the beautiful or intelligent smile. One further aspect is also important. You, as our patients, should not challenge us orthodontists too much with wishes that we may not be able to fulfill after all. We want and we must adhere to our basic medical standards. This also means that, first of all, we must not cause any damage to you. Every desired tooth movement requires thorough and comprehensive diagnostics. And if a therapy is proposed, it must be necessary and sensible against the medical background, and not cause any harm. We are not allowed to make purely cosmetic changes. So when we find that the main cause for malaligned incisor teeth is found in the back of the jaw, whatever it may be, then that must be taken care of first. The alignment of your front teeth must match your face, your lips, your facial midline, and even your eyes. That is what we plan and what we simulate thoroughly about what we can do. And we fulfill your wishes as much as it is medically possible. But we must not allow ourselves to be made vicarious agents of a mainstream that puts you and us under pressure. We have our constant medical standards, which are only possibly changed by and improved by new scientific findings. The incisors, especially in the upper jaw, are of different sizes. That is why the cutting edges of the central teeth protrude further down than those of the lateral teeth. It is also different for each patient. We know patients who want us to level evenly down all the edges, which means to grind them straight off. I will not easily do that. And look at this. The lateral incisors, as they are smaller, they are positioned a bit further inside the dental arch. There are some patients who find the smile more beautiful when also the smaller lateral incisors stand further out in the dental arch. Then we have to discuss whether we can really do it. We have to elucidate whether there is enough bone for this further out position and how we can stabilize the situation. You know, Just as the tomatoes on the market all look a little different, this also applies for your teeth. They are also natural products. There are even sometimes noticeable differences between the right and the left teeth in the same dental arch. And just like your face is not really symmetrical, try it out with one of those smartphone apps. And neither are your front teeth. That is what makes your own individuality. And when the teeth are positioned physiologically correct, then you can smile intelligently with them. There are reasons why we need to make corrections to some teeth by grinding. When the tooth arch radii do not fit together precisely because the teeth are natural products, sometimes with different sizes. We sometimes have to correct their bulgings so that the cusps and the tooth axis fit together. But these are then medical, physiological reasons, not cosmetic reasons. So do not be ashamed to go to the orthodontist just for a nicer smile. Your smile after a successful orthodontic therapy is not only felt nicer by yourself. This has been proven by many scientific studies. This affects your self-confidence, your role in society, your choice of a partner, your happiness, your satisfaction, your so-called mouth-related quality of life. And that is why we do that for you.